The Lord God said to the serpent, "Because you have done this, cursed are you among all animals, and among all wild creatures. Upon your belly you shall go, and dust you shall eat, all the days of your life. I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your offspring and hers. He will strike your head, and you will strike his heel." To the woman he said, "I will greatly increase your pangs in childbearing. In pain you shall bring forth children, yet your desire shall be for your husband, and he shall rule over you." And to the man he said, "Because you have listened to the voice of your wife, and have eaten of the tree about which I commanded you, you shall not eat of it. Cursed is the ground because of you. In toil you shall eat of it all the days of your life. Thorns and thistles it shall bring forth for you, and you shall eat the plants of the field. By the sweat of your face you shall eat bread until you return to the ground. For out of it you were taken, you are dust, and to dust you shall return." Hello, I'm BMillzebub, and welcome to my channel. What you just heard was from Genesis 3:14 through 19. This is the punishment God laid out in the storybook commonly referred to as the Bible for original sin. If you have any familiarity with that book, then you know the grievous crime committed by Adam and Eve was eating a piece of fruit. But this original sin is the basis of Judaism and Christianity, and without this, I honestly think the argument can be made that both religions in all its various forms are false. Think about it. It's a foundational brokenness that the religions rely on to promote their brand of salvation. The Catholic Church, of course, has to throw a monkey wrench into the works because they don't take things outside the Gospels literally in the Bible. Instead, this account, as seen in Genesis 3, is looked at as a story to teach the reader a lesson. To quote from the Catechism, where I'm getting this information from, the account of the fall in Genesis 3 uses figurative language but affirms a primeval event, a deed that took place at the beginning of the history of man. Revelation gives us the certainty of faith that the whole of human history is marked by the original fault freely committed by our first parents. But here's the problem we run into. No matter your faith, because we know the history of the world, at least in part, we know that the Genesis story is impossible. The history of life and evolution prove that much. Even the Catholic Church's more lax, "it's a story meant to teach a lesson" idea is incorrect, because life for early man and our evolutionary predecessors would have been difficult. And I saw nothing in the Catechism that contradicted the idea of a Garden of Eden. Think about this too. I can't remember where I originally heard this argument, but if I remember where I heard it, I'll let you all know. Perhaps someone out there knows where I may have heard it and can say so in the comments section. But think about this. There's a bit of a flaw in the story. Prior to eating the fruit of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, Adam and Eve had no understanding of the concept of right and wrong, no understanding of the consequences for their actions. And before someone jumps in and says, God told them they would die, so they knew the consequences, they were immortal and had no concept of death. So no, they didn't have an understanding of the consequences. And let's not forget about the serpent in the garden, quite possibly the biggest flaw in God's plan. Why would God allow such a creature into his perfect garden? This sounds to me like Adam and Eve were set up to fail. Or it's a poorly written narrative by imperfect humans. So actually consider the story for a moment and tell me who the real bad guy in the story is in the comments section below. But that'll do it for this one. If you enjoyed the video, please leave it a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and click the notification bell to get notified whenever I upload a new video. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter, linked below, to keep up with all my comings and goings, and follow me on Discord for a chance to talk to yours truly. Take it easy, everyone, and I will see you all in the next one.